Sunday the 16th of July, and we are on the Australian dollar, US dollar. So what we're going to do is have a quick recap of this market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis video, and then we'll have a look at the market for the trading week ahead. So for the Australian dollar, around about 3 weeks ago, it may have been 4 weeks ago now, we started looking at this ascending triangle on the weekly time frame. So basically the market following this upward sloping trend line, finding key resistance up above and creating this price squeeze. Now what we're looking at was the potential for this market to make some sort of a breakout from the ascending triangle. We started pressing up. We came up on the 26th of June. That week we pressed up into resistance. We've seen the sellers stepping into the market, and then last week we once again pressed up into this area of resistance. Just mark this in. Now, all that happened last week was coming into Friday. So you've got to imagine you cannot see this part of the candle right here. Coming into Friday morning, we could see that this candle was pressing right up against this level of resistance. Now, all I said to subscribers was that with price action lining up the way it was, with us having such a strong bullish movement up coming into the Friday, there was a likelihood that we would see at least a false break on this market. So at least another strong bullish run. And that is exactly what we've seen. Now, what did the market do? You've got to imagine section 1 here and section 2 here. Longer term traders. Now, the Australian dollar, US dollar. Look at this. Just make this smaller. Look at this bearish movement down. All the way from 2013, April in 2013, the market has been in a strong downward trend. Market comes down, finds its base here, and it pushes back up. Now what it's doing is it is testing the previous swing. So we have the swing right here. We then break down below. We press up, we're testing the swing. Sellers are stepping in at these levels. Market comes down, it comes back up again. We start to see more rejection. Sellers step into the market. The market comes down. It comes back up again. We see rejection. What's it doing? It's making the high, lower high, lower high. Sellers step into the market. Where are their stops going? They're going above previous highs. Here and here. The market comes down. What they're not really doing is they're not really looking at the fact that we're also making a low, a higher low, and a higher low, and price is starting to squeeze. So the market comes up into this level. It's sitting here on Friday. Now, what is a likely move for the market? A likely move is to continue pressing up and clear stops. If we start to trigger stops, what happens? You start to get stronger bullish movements. As the market comes up and starts to clear stops, what do you also start to get? You start to get breakout traders looking to take the market long. And that's why we had that very, very strong move up on the Friday. Now, we've been looking at this ascending triangle for, I think it's 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember exactly. And we went over that we would definitely see a breakout to one side or the other. And all that happened was on Friday, it lined up with a bullish breakout. It doesn't mean that this market is now accepting above these levels. It just means we have seen all of these stops being cleared. Now, what you can see with breakout moves is very often you get the move like that, and then the market plummets, or it breaks out to the bottom. It then instantly makes a very, very strong bullish run up. So basically, we need to see price action confirmation of an acceptance above the level. A couple of ways to do that, and that's what we'll be looking at coming into next week. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of the analysis here on the weekly time frame, and then we'll drop down onto the daily time frame, and I'll just look at or confirm exactly what we are looking at, because the analysis coming into this week is all to do with this ascending triangle, and the ascending triangle is a lot easier to see on that weekly time frame. It's probably one of the reasons that quite a lot of people miss this. I've seen lots and lots of people on YouTube coming into last week saying they were getting short at these levels. For me, everything, or it was looking bullish. I certainly didn't want to get any blind sells in this market, and I would have had to have had clear price action. We ramped straight back up. We tried to break down from this level, a very, very weak movement down, and then once again we started to rally up. Okay, so First thing is these levels down here now. So really down here, to be honest, this is the solid levels right here. Really this whole section here. If we see the market pulling back, these areas become good for potential buy positions. This would be the breakout of resistance, the market coming back to test support. Very, very good area to look for those potential bullish positions. Now, if we see the market coming back, testing these levels, we're getting weak bullish bounces, and then we start to break back down again through these levels, then it's likely we're seeing a false break. If we see the false break, we'd just be looking for the market to come back up, test, and we would then be looking for sell positions. Now, if we accept above these levels, so if this is not a false break, and if the market is accepting above these levels, very, very likely we're going to see Australian dollar coming up to at least these levels right here. So at least around about 8,030 all the way up to 8,160. We also have the MA200 on the weekly time frame up at those levels at present. So right here, if we accept above this level, very, very likely the market is coming up to test these levels, which would then become, especially with the MA200 in here, good potential level to look for resistance. So those are the main things I am now watching on this market. Let's have a look at this on the daily time frame. So if we actually stay zoomed out, you can see the market testing at these resistance levels, 1, 2, and 3, making the high, lower high, lower high, but we're also making that sloping support line down below and creating the ascending triangle. Now, if we're accepting above this level, you can see when you zoom out like this, it can become a lot easier to see the market because it's hiding a lot of the noise. So if we're accepting above here, it's likely we're going to see a test of this level. Now let me just zoom in. Okay, so at present we're sitting up above this section of price action. Really the key levels of support are, I can actually bring this down, around about 7,685. I'll do is I'll delete the segments. Up toward 7,750. This whole area down here is key support. If we see the market pulling back, testing these levels, I'd be happy to look for potential support and a move up. Now, what we may see is the market pressing up, actually exactly where it's sitting at present. These levels right here, probably down to here, 7,836 to 7,797, so around about 7,800. This is potentially a good area if we are going to see that pullback before it reaches these levels. Good potential area to look for resistance, the move back down. We would then look for those bullish positions. Now breaks above here, likely we will still have further stops sitting above the swing high here. So breaks above and pullbacks. Good for potential support and that move up once again. Those are really the main things I am looking at moving forward now. Now, if the market fails, as I've mentioned, if we just see market coming down, breaking below this level, it becomes worthwhile looking for the pullbacks and then those sell positions. Okay, that is everything for this week on Australian dollar, US dollar. As always, I hope that was helpful. Hope you all have a great trading week next week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.